right, folks, I'm just going to cut through the bullshit right here. Imagine going to a funeral amongst your worst enemies, a nest of vipers. They all want you dead. And you know, and they know how Lindsey Graham really died. How he really died. Let's just cut through it all. You could cut the tension with a knife. And let me tell you, folks, I just so happen to know that the tension was severe at the funeral. Arguments, deals, codes. When the cameras went off, people acted completely different. And that's how it always is. Even at the State of the Union, anytime the cameras are rolling, they say, hey, you know, they don't move. It's just like the old mobster movies. They don't move their lips when they're talking. They cover their mouth. They say things like, I'll talk to you in the back room. They give certain handshakes. Remember, secret societies, they're all there together. And this is when they get their deals done. It's either at the golf course, big open area, no cameras around, or they know they're all going to meet at the next funeral. They're definitely not, or I guess you could say weddings, but funerals especially. This is when things are going to get really crazy from here. Why? Because Trump even, okay, I'm going to get into all this just right now, folks. Hit your notification button. Hit the notification button. Like, share, subscribe. If you're new here, we welcome you with open arms. I'm telling you, folks, no accidents. No accidents, no coincidences. Venmo, 𝗑-ROD 1977, 𝗑-ROD 1977. Also, when the lights go out on Amazon, that's a book I wrote on my iPhone talking about the Juarez days, growing up on the border of El Paso, Texas, and Ciudad Juarez, and growing up as a fighter and almost losing my life twice. So this is it's a great book. I kind of talk about it in a nutshell on like a real fast, like absolutely really quick. I mean, I was on the soft white underbelly, and I got to say that was a great interview. But I kind of condensed the whole book in just like real quick period of time as fast as I could, but still brought a lot of emotions out on me on soft white underbelly. So stay tuned for that drop. So yeah, when the lights go out on Amazon, I don't even know. Do people even read anymore? Do any of you even read anymore? I can't believe I wrote a book. Hey, yo. All right. And then also my mom's book, The Mexican Mix, where she went slumming with a Mexican. So The Mexican Mix is there. And folks, get your parasite cleanse. You got to get this. I'm telling you, I've been taking a lot of ivermectin, fenbendazole. I do sprints of that, and I'm also taking this stuff. So imagine catching a stomach bug, recovering and then feeling drained for years afterward. That's exactly what researchers found after tracking people through a major Giardia outbreak. I guess that's how you say it. Long after the infection itself was gone, a long share of those infected were still dealing with chronic fatigue, some as long as 5 years later, folks. Investigative medical journalist Jonathan Otto has spent years digging into research like this, and is part of what convinced him that a parasite doesn't have to still be active to keep draining your energy. The disruption it leaves behind in the gut can linger far longer than the infection itself. His full spectrum protocol is designed to support the gut and body's natural detoxification system with multiple angles, combining targetable botanicals with red and near-infrared light therapy that works at a deeper cellular level, folks. This is the best solution to bizarre, unexplained symptoms, autoimmune conditions, thyroid, and hormone issues. Visit purgemyparasitesnow.com. Use the link down below and use this code this time. David Nino 45. David Nino 45. Get started on it, folks. Everything comes down to parasite cleanses. Just saying. All comes down to parasites. People are learning that really fast right now. All right, folks. Nino'sCorner.shop. Yes, I'm going through my little spill here. I appreciate everyone that comes on and joins me for Coffee with Nino. We have a good time together. I'm just getting started. Here's the Nino's Corner shop. Coffee mugs, shirts, hoodies, all the good stuff right there. I've actually seen a couple people myself wearing this stuff. I'm like, all right, hey, yo, all right. All right, so Nino's Corner.shop, there it is. Nino's Corner.tv. Ringside with Nino is tonight, baby. Ringside with Nino tonight. You can call the number down below, Alex, if you can roll that number. I believe it's 276-900-1793. If you want to upgrade now and join Nino, Ringside with Nino on Nino's Corner.tv. It is fire, folks. It's not just a platform for content; it's a community. We war game together. We share our opinions. It's a big network of patriots. That's what Nino's Corner.tv is. We meet 3 times a month. So twice a month on Ringside with Nino and once a month on with the General's Tent, where you get to ask your questions to whoever I bring on. That very interesting guest. Last night we had Joshua Reed. He absolutely knocked it out of the park, killed it. It was a great episode. I might put that up on .tv. I'm thinking about it. Hey, I'm thinking about it over here. Hey, yo. All right, so Nino's Corner.tv. Wano's Savings up there right now. The Ghost is up. 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗁. Did I not tell you he was a buzzkill? Man, oh man, I tell you. I look, I lay it out for you all to play it out. I say this over and over and over again. Hey, you all decide. I mean, he doesn't believe in the Trump operation. He's definitely all about Israel. I mean, he doesn't like to have disagreements, does he? I mean, I kind of laid off him. I don't want to give him a fucking stroke or something. So I just kind of like kicked back, laid back, and but I really appreciate 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗁 coming on. He's a very well-informed guy. I have definitely battling opinions, but that's what's so important about Nino's Corner.tv, man. I don't want to be an echo chamber. And I think we're now at this point where I feel that I try to bring different ingredients to this recipe, So 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗁's up there right now. Big trigger alert. I'm already the disclaimers there. Trigger alert for 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗁. Now, some of you may agree with them. I don't know. Maximum Fear. Max from Max Fear. I told you about this channel, folks. It's a hell of a channel. Maximum Fear. Basically, he brings out all the best trail cams, videos of what's creeping around national parks, in the forest, Bigfoots, the rake, all these cryptids. He brings them out front and center. He's coming on my show today. And the reason I'm bringing him on, because I want you all to know and pay attention to who these enemies really are, who these entities are, because it's going to the next level of awakening, folks. Reptilians, the whole thing. I'm adding another piece of the puzzle. This is going to be one hell of a podcast, and that's happening today. Maximum Fear. Go check out his channel, Maximum Fear. Great kid, young kid just started a channel, but he brings some of the best stuff. So Maximum Fear is coming on. Larry Ballard's coming on. Stuart Swerdlow's coming on. Stephen Coon's coming on. And folks, you might want to turn it down or turn it up, because why? The big sale is still going on. Forgot to tell you that. The big sale, Ringside, Live Forever special on Nino's Corner.tv is still going. All right, folks, you might want to turn it down and turn it up, or turn it up, whatever your little heart desires. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Yeah, baby. Wow, why do I feel like I had a hernia right there? Ooh, that was a little bit of an ab workout. Okay. Yeah, that felt kind of funny. Like I took a gut shot right there. I don't know. All right, let's get into this. So I happen to know a person that was at the funeral. I got my intel, my sources. David, you could cut it with a knife, the tension. And folks, a lot of the people that you think are enemies are really friends on both sides of the aisle. Hey, good to see you. Oh, and then they see the cameras on them. They stop talking immediately. Pat each other in the back, walk off, secret handshakes. The whole thing's there at the funeral. The whole thing was there at the funeral. I'm telling you, folks, my repertoire of resources are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't think anybody can match them. I'll be honest with you. I'm just saying, I don't think anybody can match them. I got a lot of moles in the system. I think everyone's kind of wondering who's next. If you want to know the truth, who's next? Everyone knows that someone took out Lindsey. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. And if they don't know, they're wondering. They're wondering who did it. It's kind of like that game of Clue or like Scooby-Doo. People know. They're all there. They're all thinking to themselves, man, this doesn't seem right. And some of them know, absolutely. Yeah, no coincidences here. But Trump shows up, doesn't he? And gives a eulogy. And this was a strange eulogy. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I would ever get up on a podium and tell somebody, he loved war. He was a war hawk. That's kind of a strange eulogy. So he's basically putting it out there. And remember, I told you he does this stuff. Same thing he did with Erica Kirk. I wouldn't want Erica Kirk to turn on me. Wow, turning point. Folks, he's making it obvious. Yeah. Say what you want about me. Throw your arrows, throw your stones at me, hit me with the bullets. I'm telling you right now, this is the way he does it. This is the way he airs out people. This is exactly how he does it. So imagine being at a funeral where everyone there secretly wants you dead and are plotting and planning for those arrangements the same way it happened to Lindsey Graham. Folks, Mike Pence was there, Judas Pence. That's how Donald Trump felt, folks. He was in the pit of the vipers and demons, one of them being Judas Pence himself. They say businessmen know some of the biggest deals are made on the golf course and at funerals, even when they're secretly planning your demise. And yet Trump still showed up and gave a eulogy. A eulogy for people like us to pick up and go, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. He was a warmonger. Well, that's very nice to say at someone's funeral. I'm sure his family appreciated that. And I'm going to put a note here, folks. Here's a note. I noticed that there was not a wrinkled flag on Lindsey's. Now, some people say, no, I saw some wrinkles. I saw it. I didn't see the wrinkles. I don't know about, put it in the comments. I didn't really see a wrinkled flag. I saw a pretty nice draped flag over his casket, and I think, okay, well, maybe he was well-liked. I don't know. But there was no wrinkles on his flag. So sometimes the most important meetings don't happen in the Oval Office. They happen under the bright lights of a press conference. And they don't happen with microphones sitting at a table. Sometimes they happen where nobody is looking at a funeral. Yesterday, Washington gathered to honor the life of Senator Graham. Cameras captured the speeches, the handshakes, the solemn faces, and the carefully rehearsed moments of unity. Carefully rehearsed, I must say. The real conversations began after the cameras turned off. Hallways became negotiating rooms. Whispers replaced speeches. Old rivals stood shoulder to shoulder, speaking in phrases that meant one thing to the public and something entirely different to the people who understood the code. There's actually lip readers looking at what these people are saying to each other, and I think you can find them all over social media. Not code made of secret words, but the language of power, the language of favors, the language of influence. Washington understands one rule better than anyone. History is often written in public, but the future is negotiated in private, folks. President Trump delivered a eulogy that caught everyone's attention. In one unforgettable moment, he remarked that Lindsey Graham loved war. It's so strange. I listened to that. I'm like, all right, if this is not obvious to people, he loved war. Drawing on Graham's well-known reputation as one of Washington's strongest foreign policy hawks. To some, it was simply a joke. To others, it sounded like a clear message. A reminder that America's political establishment has spent decades building careers around endless conflict, trillion-dollar defense budgets, and geopolitical chess matches that never seem to end. And now imagine that many of the most influential people in Washington are gathered together in one place. What would they discuss? The economy, the coming midterm elections, global instability, artificial intelligence, national security, all of the above, or something much bigger? Even every handshake comes with meaning, folk. It carries a meaning. Every single fucking handshake carries, and I'm telling you, they have their handshakes, especially for secret societies. Every quiet conversation plants the seed for tomorrow's headlines. Meanwhile, outside those cathedral walls, another storm is gathering. Political rhetoric has become increasingly heated. Security concerns continue to grow. Intelligence analysts warn that the closer America moves toward the midterms, the greater the danger becomes. Not because anyone knows exactly what will happen, but because history has shown that periods of extreme political division can become very, very dangerous. And we all know the midterms is where everyone's willing to die. This is it. Who wins the midterms controls everything, controls the chessboard for the next 10, 20, or maybe even 50 to 100 years. The stakes have never been higher. The nation's institutions are under pressure. The campaigns are accelerating. The media landscape is more polarized than ever. And in this story, folks, everyone, and I mean everyone, senses that the next chapter could reshape the country in ways nobody fully understands. Nobody really knows what's going to happen in the midterms. Are we going to have a delay? Are we going to have a pause? Is it going to go over smoothly? That's up for interpretation, honestly. Nobody knows. Anyone who says they know, they don't know. I kind of take everything with a grain of salt, but I believe Juan probably knows more than most. He says we're coming into a pause, but hey, everyone's been wrong before. Hey, yo. Whether yesterday's gathering was simply a farewell to a longtime senator or the beginning of something much larger depends entirely on which version of the story you choose to believe. One thing is certain, the cameras captured the funeral, but in history may remember something completely, entirely different, and deals were done at the fucking funeral. That's where the deals were done. Everyone knows to meet there. Everyone goes. Everyone gives their handshakes. They tell where to meet. This is how they do it, folks. This is how the mobsters do it. I can call them mobsters. I think they're all mobsters. You know, Sammy the Bull. I'm going to be sitting down with Sammy the Bull. Hey, Sammy the Bull. This is going to be a good podcast. He said Donald Trump was uncorruptible. I'm going to get into that with him when I sit down with him, by the way. I'm going to say, what do you mean he was uncorruptible? I want to get into that. I want to get into those finite details. Along with Sammy's life, I think he's had an amazing life. Crazy criminal life, but, you know, all the same, it's pretty fucking interesting, I got to say. So, in the history of the agency, they have never said this until this week. And when I mean by agency, I'm talking about the Secret Service. U.S. Secret Service Director Sean Curran confirmed Wednesday what we're seeing now is never been seen before. Well, what's he talking about? 10,000 threat cases against government officials. Let me say that again. 10,000. Yes, 10,000. Threat cases against government officials so far in just the year 2026. A 40% increase over the last year, a tenfold increase in mental health commitments of people threatening politicians. 1 year after the 𝗬𝗏CA dinner shooting, White House Correspondents' Dinner shoot, it's already been a year. Are you kidding me? I don't think there's been a year for the shoot. No, that can't be right. That has to be a mistake. But yeah, I know it's been a year for Charlie Kirk, but not the White House dinner shooting. No way. 1 year after the Mar-a-Lago breach and the rescheduled dinner this Friday, Trump is attending. The threat levels have never been higher, and politicians are upping their security. They're upping their level of security. So that's where we're at. That's the climate of America right now. Everyone is scared. They're upping their security. But you know what? You shouldn't be a piece of shit. I don't know. Call me crazy. Yeah, you don't work for the American people. I'm just saying it. I'm saying what I'm thinking out loud. Yeah, I mean, kind of comes with the territory when you're selling out America for war. When you're warmongers. Oh, wait, who's a warmonger? Oh, Lindsey Graham. Oh, who said that? Oh, yeah, Donald Trump said that. Oh, yeah, Donald Trump said that. Yeah, I mean, would you want that said at your eulogy? I mean, out of all the nice shit someone can say about you, they say, yeah, he liked war a lot. He was a warmonger. Who the fuck says that? Folks, really think about this. He's calling a spade a spade. So, I don't know. Who's next? That's where my mind goes. And where's Mitch McConnell? Where's Mitch? I'm still looking for you, Mitch. Mitchy boy. Gee, George, I'm coming right now. Where are you at, Mitchy? So Netanyahu. Now, this is important to see. I kind of read things behind the scenes from my black sheep family. Netanyahu comes to visit Trump, and before he comes to visit Trump, what does Trump do? He posts a picture of him and JFK together. Trump and JFK, that's my last episode. Go back and look at it. He posts that on the heels of Netanyahu coming in and says, trust his plan. I don't know. That's pretty obvious to me, unless he's just a crazy conspiracy theorist. Just saying. Post that before Netanyahu, on the heels of Netanyahu coming in. He puts that out there. Why? Because he wants you to know. Pick up on the signs, folks. Pick up on the signals. He's sending smoke signals. I know you're all going to get crazy. I know a lot of you want to jump ship. Hold on. Hold your horses. Let me do what I got to do. Trust his plan. Look, I'm catching a lot of shit from from other podcasters, by the way. A lot of shit. But it's the way I see it. This is how it's going down. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Tuesday that he had an excellent meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House, marking their first face-to-face. Damn, so you know those six-finger videos and shit? Oh, I guess he's really alive. Damn it. But President Donald Trump at the White House, marking their first face-to-face talk since the war with Iran began in late February. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Tuesday that he had excellent meetings with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House, marking their first face-to-face since the talk of the war, since the war began in February. I've just finished an excellent meeting with President Trump, Netanyahu said in a video statement, adding it touched on our common goal, ensuring that Iran does not obtain nuclear weapons. It was one of the best conversations I've ever had with the President of the United States, our friend Donald Trump. So who's playing who here? I'm going to go with Trump on this one. I know I'm going to get kicked in the nuts for it. But I'm going with Trump on this one. Benjamin Netanyahu gives specific, and this was caught on video, and I don't know if any of you saw this when he was talking to 𝗧𝗃. Benjamin Netanyahu gives specific orders to Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth at Lindsey Graham's funeral. Netanyahu he wags his finger. I don't know if you guys saw this. And Alex, I don't know. I think I sent it to you, but Netanyahu wags his finger, points at them, and tells them exactly what he needs to have done. He did look like he was giving orders to Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio. They looked like little bitches. They looked like little lapdogs sitting there wagging their. There it is. Who is that? Is that Hegseth or who is that? That's someone else. Whatever. I mean, point of the story. He was pointing at Hegseth.
Yeah, I think that's Hegseth right there.
That's not Hegseth, is it? That doesn't look like Hegseth.
No.
Or is it? I don't know.
I think so.
I think Hegseth has grayer hair, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. There he is.
Oh, that is Hegseth, isn't it? That was it. Wow. Okay, maybe he's using this from just for men. I don't know.
Yeah, he's using touch of gray. Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, there I was wrong. That's Hexa. But yeah, I mean, it's basically look. I'm here. I mean, this guy thinks he's like the emperor, right? He's like the emperor on Star Wars, right? But they all take their orders from higher ups, and he really believes that he has Trump under his finger. I'm gonna bet he still believes that. I'm just saying I'm holding space because, look, folks, it's real easy to jump ship. Everyone's doing it right now. I'm one of the few that's not. I'm one of the few that, I don't back Israel, but at the same time, I'm like, I know Trump's getting ready to make a play. I'm watching. I'm telling you, folks, it's coming. I mean, I feel like Nino's Corner.tv, we've been over the target on a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. And I just know it's coming. Because why? I don't know. Look at all the military equipment Trump's selling to Turkey. You all do understand that you can't just sell military equipment to Turkey when they're an enemy of Israel, right? I mean, you all get that, right? You all understand that. And Trump is doing it anyway. That should tell you a lot. Because if Benjamin Netanyahu had it his way, we'd be going into Turkey as well, folks. I'm telling you that right now. But instead, we are supplying them with F-35s. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. I don't think you do that when you're an ally. Blurred front lines. Trump meets Zelensky as Ukraine-Iran wars collide. Zelensky is holding talks with President Donald Trump on Tuesday, yesterday. The meeting comes as the U.S. war against Iran and Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine have threatened to overlap. The Senate is set to vote Tuesday evening on advancing a bipartisan sanctions package targeting Russia and countries that continue buying Russian energy. Ukraine on Saturday launched an attack on the Iranian commercial vessel in the Caspian Sea. The Islamic Republic has threatened retaliation over this strike. So, of course, this is going to go back and forth and back and forth. And I'm hearing there's really nothing left in Ukraine. It's just rubble and chemicals burning. It's turned into a dumpster fire. President Trump at Lindsey Graham's funeral said Graham loved war, was very hawkish, and served exactly 33 years. There's that number. 33 years in the United States military. I mean, this number keeps popping up, right? What did I tell you? Numbers, handshakes, secret societies. It's all the same. They all serve the same. 33 years. Why 33 years? Are you sure it wasn't 31, maybe 29? No, 33. 33 years. He never saw a war he didn't like, said Trump. Gosh, that's a pretty facetious thing to say. I wouldn't want that said at my funeral. I'll tell you that right now. No matter how good, if a good friend of mine said that about me, I would probably think, you're probably not that great of a friend. I mean, is that something you say at someone's funeral? Would you want that to be said at your eulogy, folks? Because not me at all. And I think we got to pay attention to those little drops he's dropping. Trump pays tribute to Graham, calling him a tough cookie as he recalls evolution of their friendship. Lawmaker remembered funeral services of longtime GOP Senator Lindsey Graham, who died on July 11th at the age of 71. I thought he was older than that. Were held Tuesday in Washington, D.C. Tributes from the president and senators. President Donald Trump recalled his friend as a tough cookie, a heartfelt and humorous remarks as Washington National Cathedral early in the Capitol. Vice President J.D. Vance and Senate Majority Leader John Thune spoke fondly about their former colleague. Graham was a key Trump ally and can do it to the president on Capitol Hill. Look, I can't help but keep thinking about these Disneyland photos of him with like walking around intoxicated around children. That's to me, I can't get past that. I can't get beyond that shit. Okay. So when I think of Lindsey Graham, that's what I think of, I can't seem to get past that. Biden tapes released. Fox News alert. We just got our hands on the Biden tapes, and now we know the truth. Over 70 hours of unfiltered and now raw recordings between Joe Biden and his ghostwriter were just made public. This was on Fox News on Jesse Waters. Also, folks, Fauci is testifying. No more delays, folks. Fauci testifies tomorrow, July 29th, under oath. Rand Paul spent 6 months negotiating with his lawyers. Fauci agreed, then backed out. So Paul subpoenaed him. Now he has no choice. And I heard he's pleading the fifth. So I know we're all watching this. They're always trying to weasel their way out of different scenarios and situations. I don't know where this is going, but I know one thing. It's all about the court of public opinion. And that is what it's important, folks. Put them in front of the people. People are catching up now. Everyone's learning what really happened in 2020 on both sides, election and the boogeyman. We have to have those people. They got to catch up, folks. We got to let them catch up, because guess what? They're the ones that get the most violent when they don't understand what's going on. They get violent. They lash out at people and scream and cause traffic to stop in highways, and they stand in front of cars and they hold up signs. They don't let you enter stores. You know, these people, well, they're the ones that get the most violent. When they hear the headlines, they get crazy. So we got to let them catch up to kind of neutralize and buffer the coming civil unrest. And who knows, maybe we won't have civil unrest. I don't know. I'm not psychic. But I think we're doing a good. If you're all complaining about why is this taking so long, why is this so slow, because the they have to catch up. We gotta buffer the violence, unless you want violence. Some of you want violence, I know. Like, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm locked and loaded. I get it. Trust me, I get it. Senate confirms Jay Clayton as Director of National Intelligence. So let's see how this guy does. The Senate voted on July 28th to confirm Jay Clayton, who was nominated by President Donald Trump to be the next Director of National Intelligence. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I don't know. Clayton's confirmation by the Senate came after the Senate Intelligence Committee voted 9-8 along party lines on July 21st to advance his nomination. The Senate also voted 51-43 along party lines on July 27th to advance Clayton's nomination ahead of Tuesday's final vote. So Clayton was ultimately confirmed with 51 senators' support to 47 voting against. Following the confirmation, Clayton will replace acting DNI Bill Pulte, who was criticized by top Democratic senators, including Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. I think Pulte went in there just to clean house. I think they all have their missions on what they're supposed to do, their duties. I think Pulte went in there just to restructure everything and clean house, and that's what he did. He fired a whole bunch of deep state rats. So I'm happy with what Pulte did, to be honest with you. But now we have Clayton. Let's see what he does. James Comey's in the news again. James Comey, he's asking judge to drop case over 𝗪𝗡𝗄's Instagram post arguing speech is protected by the First Amendment. I mean, he's got a point, but the message he was sending was to, I don't know, maybe assassinate somebody important like the president. Former FBI Director James Comey urged a federal judge on Monday to throw out the indictment alleging he threatened President Trump's life, arguing that it targets speech protected by the First Amendment and that the phrase at the center of the charges, 8647, does not connotate violence. Lawyers for Comey wrote in their motion to dismiss the case that the indictment returned by a federal court grand jury earlier this year targets and chills political speech. I don't know how you all feel about this. I mean, it looks like he's trying to squirm his way out of another one. But folks, I'm telling you, they're not going to be able to squirm out of any of this anymore. It's catching up to all of them. Believe me when I tell you this. The boomerang is here. I've always talked about the boomerang, but the thing about the boomerang, if you all feel like it's just too slow, like I've said, it's because the court of public opinion. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to Tellerico. Oh, God, this guy just makes me, he's like Beto O'Rourke 2.0. This guy, Tellerico, expands lead over Paxton in new Texas Senate poll. So, folks, if we let these midterms go as planned, that's why I don't agree with a lot of people. Unless some big shifts are happening behind the scenes, I think there's going to have to be a pause. I don't see how this goes forward conventionally, but who knows? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not psychic, but I have trouble believing this. Texas Rep. James Tallarico, the Democratic Senate nominee in Texas, has widened his lead over his Republican opponent, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, in a new poll. So I guess Tallarico, people love socialism. People love communism. I guess he's catching up. This guy, I can't even look at this guy. I told you to watch this guy a year ago. I've been saying this on my program for a year now. Watch this guy. He's like a smelly fart that doesn't go away, and he's going to just get stronger and stronger and stronger. And here we are. We're in it now. He's coming from behind like they always do, right? They all come from behind. The results of the Texas Public Opinion Research TPOR survey, which were shared by the Texas Tribune on Tuesday, found Tallarico had a 5 percentage point advantage among likely voters over Paxton ahead of the November election. Yeah, right. Sure you do. Folks, I read these things and I think to myself, who believes this? Who believes this shit, especially in Texas? Texas, a red state, blood red state. Yeah, Tallarico's ahead. Yeah, I believe that. But that's what they do. Get this, folks. I may have this guest coming up on my show pretty soon. It's not confirmed just yet, but inside the controversial new cult, they're calling it a cult. You all make up your own decision. I don't know much about this lady, but led by LA-based apostle, as droves of devoted followers shake uncontrollably in her presence. I don't know if you've seen this. A Los Angeles-based pastor whose dramatic prayer services regularly go viral is once again at the center of controversy after videos from a recent Texas book signing showed followers collapsing, shaking, and convulsing as Catherine Crick prayed over them. There have been renewed accusations from some Christian leaders that her ministry resembles a cult. Now, I may be having this lady on my show, Catherine Crick, so I'm going to be, try to get to the bottom of it. I mean, I don't know what my audience believes. You all think this is just the power of the mind, or are they getting hit with the Holy Spirit? I don't know. You all decide. I know the Holy Spirit is very powerful. I've been to a couple of these things, and I've seen people shake and convulse on the floor. And when the preacher came to me and my friend and smacked us on the head, nothing happened. And boy, did he walk away really fast. He goes, "The power's within you." And he hit us on the forehead, and we were like, "Yo, dude, relax." He was like, "Okay, it didn't work on them. Let me go to the next person." Hit the next person. They fell on the floor. They were convulsing. I don't know. Maybe I was full of demons. I don't know. Maybe David was just full of demons. I don't know. But I didn't fall on the floor and convulse, so I don't know. People were looking at me weird too, like, "Why aren't you convulsing? You should be on the floor convulsing with everybody else." I don't think so. Where was that? That was actually in Roswell. Okay, where was it? Roswell, New Mexico. That's where that happened. Boy, that was a weird trip. That was the weirdest trip I've ever taken in my life. America's blood supply alarmingly low. Patient care is at risk. The Red Cross says. I don't trust anything the Red Cross says. I trust nothing the Red Cross says. Just saying. Just putting that out there. I don't trust anything they say. The U.S. blood supply has reached crisis levels, prompting the American Red Cross and the Surgeon General's office to urge people to donate. See, I just feel like, what's up here? What's really going on? What do they need your blood for? Vampires? Reptilians? I don't know. That's where my mind goes with this shit. Bring your children in. We need young blood. The younger, the better. I don't know. Why it matters: a prolonged blood shortage could delay surgeries, trauma care, and other treatments that depend on timely blood transfusion. I'll tell you one thing. Any of you may get a blood transfusion. I think you get someone you trust that hasn't been this. Look at my shoulder. Because all blood transfusions are probably tainted with this. I'm just saying. Could be. I'd kind of get someone you trust to donate blood. That's where I'm at with this shit. All right, let's take some super chats, Alex. Let's take some super chats. Where are we at with the super chats? Scott and Monster Nino, could you do a show in your turtle voice? A whole show? I don't know. That'd be hard. That'd be a very Slow show. That would last like 2 hours. Thank you. Big time 17 ounce Anthony Fauci is a cockroach that needs to be tried for crimes against humanity. Absolutely. Jim Barbado. Hey, Barbado. Super sticker. Thank you so much. 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶. I'm pretty sure if there were meant to be wrinkles in the flag, you wouldn't have to guess where they're there or not. Thank you, David. Yeah, whether they're there or not. I agree. 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶 23. said Japan has med beds. Get him back. Okay, well, all right. I'll get him back. I'll get a hold of him. I need to get a hold of him. I think he texted me not too long ago. Jim Barbado 1487. Thank you, super sticker. Thank you so much. Jim Barbado 1487 super sticker again. Thank you very much. 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶 23. I'm 41 today, Nino. Hey, yo, wow, you're getting old, buddy. You're getting old. The 40s fly, let me tell you. Sturflan, I think Sturfan won. Thanks, Nino and team, for all you do. God bless you. Thank you. All right, let's get to some what the fuck news. I found this to be pretty crazy, and I'm sure you will too. Folks, these new AI cars, these new AI trucks, these new AI vehicles, I don't know if we're going to be able to stay away from them or not, but they're already turning cars off. Check this out. Ford remotely shuts off this brand new Bronco on a busy expressway over one missed late payment. You got to be kidding me. Guys out here with a new Bronco that has only 3,000 miles on it, and Ford just killed the engine while he's in 60-mile-per-hour traffic. He's standing on the side of the road. Trucks and cars are whipping by fast, saying he could get killed, and that Ford has no idea how rough it is out here. He even wonders out loud if this is basically a scam. So hard questions we should be asking. How is it legal or safe for a company to remotely disable a vehicle while it's moving on a public freeway? What happens if this happens to someone with kids in a car or in the middle of nowhere or a medical emergency? If you finance a car, do you really own it? Or are you just renting permission to drive it until they decide otherwise, like to turn it off? How many other vehicles already have the kill switch capability built in that most of us don't even know about? And if they can shut it off for a missed payment, what else can they control or track without your knowledge? That's my question. This isn't just a guy's bad day. This is a preview of what smart cars can do to all of us. This is scary to me. I mean, I think this is going to come on the heels of social credit scores. AI is going to be running. Folks, I'm telling you, the real war is coming. It's coming with AI. Which is why everyone's, oh, just trust it, Nino. It's going to be fine. Yeah, we'll see. I think the B system's coming. And with that being said, folks, thank you for joining me. Get to Nino's Corner.tv. Tonight is Ringside with Nino. I'll be there with all my Black Sheep family. Can't wait to see you guys. Lots to talk about. Definitely. Lots to talk about. And with that being said, folks, I'm out of here. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the Black Sheep of broadcasting, folks. Peace out.